we've been big on the Christmas season, so I got to start. I have getting some Christmas music in here for you. I have a whole bunch of Christmas songs I can play, but let's start with something just kind of. Oh, there's a little loud. I've got all my license-free Christmas music. So I know a lot of people don't watch Christmas movies yet, but it's become.
No, I think people are. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trending on Netflix.
You're so right. If Netflix doesn't share their numbers, but if Netflix wasn't making so much money, we wouldn't get 5 new Christmas movies a week or whatever they're doing. They're making like 40 a season, which is insanity. So I'm gonna bust out the 5 we watched. We actually watched 6. We can talk about the 6th one too. It's not on Netflix, but we're gonna do a 1 through 5 candy canes, depending on how much we liked this movie.
Okay, 5 is the best.
5 is the best. 5. Listen. You should only rate 1 or 2 movies a 5, like your favorite Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas movie of all time? Do you have one?
I don't know.
Put it this way, like we watched I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Taylor Thomas, that 1990s Christmas movie. That would get like a 2. Like it was good, but it was like
I'll go turn
it. Yeah, we're literally Tasha's gonna have to go turn the air conditioner off. This is what it's like living in an old building in Los Angeles. If anyone wants to donate to the Patreon, we could for sure use an upgrade. We've been looking at houses, and there's these houses with these like renovated garages in the back, and I'm telling you, we blow this puppy up, we are going to have a worldwide empire of Basset Hounds and recording studios. So let's go right into the first one we watched this week. This movie I'm about to mention was what I would consider. This was going to be a hard pass for me on title and thumbnail alone. Hard pass. This movie we're about to talk about was the biggest switch I've ever made on any film ever. Operation Christmas Drop. What, do you want to say what your rating is for it up front or after?
I would give that a 2.5.
4.2 candy canes. 4.2. I'm going to play some more Christmas music here. You like that? So I'm going to read for you the summary. Again, this is a no spoilers review of the Christmas movies we've watched so far. Congressional aide Erica forgoes family Christmas to travel at her boss's behest. At a beachside Air Force base, she clashes with Captain Andrew Jantz, who knows her assignment is finding reasons to defund the facility. So what we have here is, and this is the story's not based on a true story. This is a fictional story of a true event. Operation Christmas Drop has happened since the early 1950s in Guam, where they actually, the U.S. military was flying over another island, and islanders waved at them, and someone had the idea we should drop down Christmas gifts, and they use it as a training exercise every year. So in the movie, you got some hotshot congresswoman who sends her like underling to go find a reason to defund this, and of course, love is found. I mean, that's a pretty obvious thing that's about to happen. Why didn't you defend your 2 rating? Why didn't you like this?
I thought it was fine. I just thought it was typical of many Christmas movies in that it was kind of poorly written and not necessarily excellent acting. So a little bit low budget. But
so you're worried about acting in the script when it comes to Christmas movies? Are you ready to defend other Christmas movies on their acting?
Yeah.
All right. So there were moments where we had to pause this and laugh so hard, and it was very much military propaganda. Like they clearly filmed this at an Air Force base in Guam, or military base in Guam, and it was for sure completely U.S. state sponsored. But the story, I mean, there was multiple moments where I was like, oh, I'm about to cry. This is sad.
Fine. It totally was worth the hour and a half. If you're in the mood to watch a Christmas movie, it was fine. But it's not my top choice of Christmas movies when there's so many great ones out there.
All right. So you're a solid 2.
I said 2.5.
2.5. Okay, 2.5.
3 if you want to round up.
Anything lower than a 2.5 is, I think I'm going to recommend people pass. And I've got one of those. I didn't even put this one on here. Let's get right into the one I say pass. I knew I was missing one. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
It's called Holidate, folks. Holidate. It is the worst movie I've seen.
I don't even remember which one that was.
Exactly. Emma Roberts and Emma Roberts. I think she's pregnant, right?
I would give that another like 2.5. It wasn't bad.
You would go that high. You'd go 2.5.
Yeah.
Here's the log line. Fed up with being single on holidays, two strangers agree to be each other's platonic plus ones all year long, only to catch real feelings along the way. Yikes. Very unlikable people. This was the type of movie that with and again, I'm going to say this about another movie here. This movie, you can't, like, if you're just looking at a trailer or whatever, the cinematography is good. It's clearly shot with an A-list actress. And then halfway through you go, what are we doing with this movie? This was like this was like your training wheels Christmas movie, because it was not just Christmas. It was all the different holidays kind of like put together.
It didn't have the budget I think it needed. Like, they needed to reshoot a few of those.
They need to rewrite it and maybe create a new subject and storyline and recast it and then rename it yeah. There was a hard.
It was okay though. It was fine.
I'm trying to see what the Rotten Tomatoes score of it is, but 6.1 out of 10 is the IMDb. Anyway, it's a solid with all. If you're debating between this and Operation Christmas Drop, you know where I stand, folks. This is a 2 at best. Okay, so let's get back into movies that we another surprise that I actually ended up liking. And so many Christmas movies, I'm just mad at them until I'm crying. So many times I'm like, man, this movie. Oh, I have feelings. Midnight at the Magnolia.
Oh, that one was so good.
This one started out pretty bad for me. And you know why? It was, okay, longtime friends and local radio hosts Maggie and Jack fake it as a couple for their families and listeners in the hopes of getting their show syndicated. So the thing I hated most about this is that I could tell when they were shooting their scenes of them talking that they weren't using the audio from their microphones, because her mic was pointed this way. And I was like just so mad. It took me out of it that I was like, this isn't even real. I don't know why they could, like, that's why I was saying it was like so weird how they weren't really engaging as on-air radio hosts, that I couldn't believe the movie.
Okay, well, if that's your only gripe, it was a cute romantic story. I would say that's a 3.8.
I'm gonna give it a 3 because it's not on my cut. Like it's better than my cutoff point of 2.5 candy canes, but it's for sure. Wait, what did you give it?
3.8.
Yeah, that's pretty high for me. I'm gonna go with a 3. Yeah, that's a 3 because it was. I mean, this was unlike Holidate. You could tell this was a very low budget movie. I think it was considered a Netflix original, but sometimes these Netflix originals were bought, and they, Netflix will polish them and redo their titles, and it's, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell when something's a real indie film. And this was a couple Canadian actors we haven't heard of, and the guy, the whole time I'm watching, I'm going like, why is she into this guy? I mean, he's a real dweeb. He was trying to be that charming sort. He kind of was trying to be, Van Wilder, sort of like Ryan Reynolds, but without the good looks or charm.
Did you say 3.5? I might have to reassess my.
I'm not
down? Sure. I'm not sure what I'm working with on the scale here, but yeah.
I'll tell you what though, and again with no spoilers, I was surprised. And if you can surprise somebody in a Christmas movie, I think. I'm trying to get a new Christmas song here. Oh, wow. Easy there, doesn't, folks. If you can, by the way, write in, folks. Do you like this or not? Are we on the right path? I think this could be our niche, is just reviewing all the Christmas films. If we're going to watch them, we might as well talk about them. I think if you can surprise me in a Christmas movie, it earns, in fact, I might actually talk my rating up. I'm talking about with the surprise? There was a moment where even you were surprised. And normally I'm like, oh, so-and-so's about to happen. And you're like, duh. But I think we're both caught off guard. I don't know. Maybe I was just worn down. You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you? Can I tell? Look, this part.
Oh,
that was a surprise.
Yeah, that
Jeez,
was.
You're really not moving fast with me today. Tasha watches Christmas movies and immediately deletes them from her hard drive the second they're over. She's like, I don't remember that at all. She just watch it and go. You treat Christmas movies like crack. You're like, I need more Christmas movies. I can't remember it. It was a good movie.
Yeah,
I recommend it. It was good on the romantic level of Christmas movies. I would say I was less invested romantically than I was in Operation Christmas movie. I mean, Operation Christmas Drop. Operation Christmas Drop was one of those movies where I was yelling at the TV, being like, so good. Like I would have paid extra money to watch the R-rated version of this movie, because you could tell it was so much propaganda. It was very PG, but I was like, oh, we could make this movie way sexier. Like, you got this stud in the military with the dimpled chin, real jarhead look, nice and strong. She comes in as this sassy assistant with a nice ass. Like they could have.
She is Hayden Panettiere's twin.
Yeah,
I couldn't get over it.
If Hayden Panettiere was like Dominican, like that, I think that's kind of a good.
They have the same face shape.
Yeah. Anyway, it was great. I loved it. Anyway, so but back to Midnight at Magnolia. We're somewhere in the 3s out of 5s. Give it a shot. All right. Here's an interesting one. Not all Christmas movies. I don't need your budget to be $50 million. There are certain movies that we know that come from production companies. Like this is a production company called Mar Vista Productions.
They make so many Christmas
I'm
movies.
going to just Google it right now. Mar Vista Productions Christmas movies. Yeah, and I don't know. They found their sweet spot. They spend like $100,000. They make 200, and then they rinse and repeat. So every year, it's like they just a Snow White Christmas, Snowman, it's the Spirit of Christmas, Spotlight Under the Mistletoe, A Star for Christmas. As long as they just SEO. As long as they get Christmas in the title somewhere, they're making money. Anyway, this is how bad their website is. I clicked on the link and it says we're sorry, but something went wrong. Yeah, it's called your plot line. You don't have much of a plot line. But anyway, this wasn't a Mar Vista. This wasn't a Mar Vista movie, I don't think. But the point stands is that they have some ridiculously bad Christmas movies. So this one is called. I lost it for a second. Christmas with a Prince. Do you remember this one?
Is that Dr. Tasha?
Yes. Yes, this is the one where they had the doctor was named Tasha in it. I'll read the summary for you. Oh, I need some more new Christmas music for this. Hold on. Do we have Christmas music? Oh, there it is. We already play this?
Doesn't matter.
Pediatric specialist. Tasha Mason is focused on keeping the kids in her ward as healthy as possible. But when the handsome Prince Alexander Cavalieri breaks his leg on a nearby ski slope, Tasha is forced to allow him to secretly get well on her floor. And she's furious that a spoiled royal is interrupting the precious healing time her kids need. Soon, however, Tasha learns that some tough love and a lot of Christmas spirit could turn his royal pain into a knight in shining armor. This movie was so low budget. It looked like iMovies, like fonts, like the opening credits.
It had like 3 sets. The whole movie was filmed in 3 rooms.
For sure filmed in an abandoned hospital, which I thought was great.
Just a studio where they built a hallway and a patient room.
With one of those like fake elevators, and there's a guy behind it pushing the door. People don't realize how movies are made. We know how movies are made, and this. To find a Christmas movie that you can make where the whole thing basically takes place in essentially a hospital
in 4 rooms.
Hallway, yeah. And in the opening scene is like the Prince snowboard skiing, but it's from a GoPro angle, and I'm like, I vlog better quality than this movie I'm watching for sure. I mean, I'm not exaggerating, guys. Real horrible quality to open with, and then it got better. And the storyline held up. Princess Tasha, pediatric specialist Tasha Mason, very likable. Also, very much the similar ethnic vibe as Operation Christmas Drop, in that she was like some sort of mixed ethnicity and he was just some jarhead white guy. I feel like they found the potion, folks. You got some dumbass white guy and some like Latina, and then you just...
The one that I watched last night after you fell asleep was the same formula.
They had a jarhead white guy.
Prince white guy.
Prince white guy and mixed ethnicity. Beautiful chick. Hey, that's what it is. I didn't write it. This is what it is, folks. Anyway, this movie... And then all of a sudden, and I'm putting the pieces together before it. So again, no spoilers, but I'm putting the pieces together. It's like, oh, geez, pediatric ward. Some kid's probably going to have cancer. Some prince is going to save his life. And then next thing you know, it's like a real humbling, simple story. And then there's a villain. You always need some like Ukrainian villain chick who comes out of nowhere. I mean, the whole thing is like a pretty good movie. I mean, I would even, again, I'm sounding like I'm not that critical. I'm going high 3s, maybe 4 candy canes.
I was kind of thinking the same as the last one we just talked about, in the 3.5 to 4 range.
And do you want to even give it a higher range because they don't have the $4 million budget or the 12? Really, you don't want to?
But it wasn't something
Christmas
that like
with the Prince budget. Hold on,
I think you should go run and watch. But if you see it scroll across your Netflix and you've got an hour to kill, yeah.
See, there's too many movies that have Prince and Christmas in the title, so I don't know if I can see what the budget is. But the popularity is up on this one, and I don't know. Was this the one where they made a sequel to it?
Yeah, they did, but we haven't seen it yet. I don't know if Netflix has bought it.
I want it, but then immediately look. I Google this and I pull up a review. Where to start? God awful. Acting, casting, terrible. No chemistry at all. The Queen and her daughter so dumpy. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we were able to laugh at the low budgetness of like the royals' costumes had like low quality felt.
Yeah,
I was like,
they're like going to a really high class event, and the decorations look like they picked them up from Party City.
Yeah, it was for sure. Party City royalty. It's like that. Is that crown bending? Is that thin metal? What are you using? Are those fake rubies or just like cherry cough drops?
They added the clink to the champagne flutes, which were very obviously made of plastic.
Yeah, the champagne flutes where you stick the bottom onto it and connect it because you got it at the dollar store. Anyway, look, hey, but for all that, if you have the right movie, the right little story, I'm not caring if it's cheesy. I'm not caring if someone can't act that well. They pulled it off. Christmas Prince, 3.8 out of 5 candy canes, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I thought we were going in to see a real bad movie. All right, this movie, when you want to talk about budgets.
Oh, is this my 5-star movie?
This is Tasha's 5-star movie, and not to sell the movie with Hip Hop Christmas, but I think this song is apropos to the theme of the movie. We're talking steam. Look at Tasha just dance. She's so exciting. We're talking like Hamilton meets A Christmas Story meets steampunk.
Yeah.
Meets almost like a Pinocchio inventor, Geppetto.
It's called Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle, folks. A Christmas Journey.
5-star Christmas movie. That is a must-watch Christmas movie.
The storyline isn't the fastest, but
it actually did take us a couple tries because we started it late at night, so we fell asleep. And then, were you going somewhere? We watched it midday, and I took a nap, but I also only got 3 hours of sleep the night before.
Let me get you the log line. An imaginary world comes to life in a holiday tale of an eccentric toy maker, his adventurous granddaughter, and a magical invention that has the power to change their lives forever. It stars Forrest Whitaker. The antagonist is Keegan-Michael Key. And also, Ricky Martin is in it. I mean, this movie is cool.
It's a good movie. It's a steampunk musical.
But not everyone can appreciate this movie. Someone's going to watch this and go, no, next. Like, if you didn't like Evita, if you like, I don't know. I feel like if, like, they're singing in this movie.
What are your favorite musicals?
I loved, what's the Moulin Rouge?
Loved Moulin Rouge. That was my favorite movie back in the day.
What's the song I'm thinking of? There's a...
they're all...
name me a Moulin Rouge song.
There's so many. They're all like pop culture songs.
Give me like a Moulin Rouge song.
I have this Jingle Jangle stuck in my head.
I'm trying to think. I can't play any of them. Lady Marmalade. That's in Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. What's the good one? That's
the one where he sings. What's his name? Is it Ewan McGregor? Who's the guy in it?
Ewan McGregor. Yeah. Hold on.
Ewan McGregor.
I need to close my ears to be able to think of the song.
I could just tell you your song.
Yes, that's it.
It's called Your Song.
You can tell everybody.
Yeah, that's it. You can tell everybody. Oh boy, but yeah, they're singing. Yeah, no, if you don't like Moulin Rouge, if you've watched Moulin Rouge, you go no, then Jingle Jangle ain't for you, son.
But
it ain't for you.
No, anybody who likes musicals is gonna love Jingle Jangle.
Well, there's a lot of people that just want dumbass like Jingle Bells.
This is different level from other Christmas movies.
This is art.
Yes, this is next level.
The choreography.
Perfection. The songs, perfection. The story, perfection. The acting, perfection.
And apparently, if this wasn't...
The animation, top notch. Christmas Drop had the stupidest looking animated gecko we've ever seen in our lives.
Christmas Drop spent all their money animating a gecko that didn't need to be there. I mean, they blew a lot of money on this gecko.
And it looked bad.
And I'm watching... what's it called? Jingle
Jangle.
I'm watching Jingle Jangle going, how did they pull this off? Like, this is for sure a feature film that belongs in the movie theaters, but because of the world we live in, it's only in drive-in theaters, and they just dropped it off on Netflix. Like, here you go.
It's so good. The Cinderella with Brandy is kind of similar in that it has, like, very fantastical costumes. Did you remember that? Do you see that?
No.
You never
Not
saw
gonna
that
lie,
one
no.
back in the day? Yeah, it was really good with like really beautiful costuming, lots of dancing.
Well, do you think your five candy cane rating would line up with Rotten Tomatoes, or do you think Rotten Tomatoes doesn't appreciate it?
Rotten Tomatoes appreciates it.
95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, this is the type of movie Rotten Tomatoes likes. Like no stone went unturned in this movie. I mean, there's a snowball fight scene. It's like almost got some Harry Potter vibes to it, you know?
Yeah.
It's got Harry Potter visionary when it comes to the local, the universe it's built in. I can't speak enough for it. And to be honest with you, with all that said, not my favorite Christmas movie. I still like Operation Christmas Drop better, yeah. That's just it.
But they're just different categories.
Yeah,
they're not even in the same realm.
You know why? Because I like a rom-com.
A
and this
stupid,
was,
low-budget Christmas movie.
Hey.
I mean, that's our typical, if you think about it, traditionally Christmas movies are that dumb, low-budget, kind of silly, romantic storyline. Girl goes to Vermont, meets a guy at the farmer's market, has to save her grandpa's post office, or whatever.
This one had way more
depth. This one was really fantastic. This was next level, and I feel so privileged to have been able to watch it on Netflix. No, I'm serious. That's the kind of thing you go to the movies. If it wasn't a pandemic, we would have been seeing ads for that, and we would have gone to the movies to see it.
Yeah, it would have been great to see in the movies for sure. Like, I don't think we knew what we were getting ourselves into. And then the Princess Switch, which we talked about before, the new version, the Princess Switch, switched again. They released a trailer for it, and it actually looks worse than I thought it could be. So, when Duchess Margaret unexpectedly inherits the throne to Montenero and hits a rough patch with Kevin, it's up to her double Stacy to save the day before a new lookalike party girl Fiona foils their plans. Starring Vanessa Hudgens, and Vanessa Hudgens.
We watched the trailer, and Princess Switch was fine. It was a good movie. I was definitely interested in watching Switched again. But the plot was fine without the third Stacy or
Princess
whatever her
Switch,
name is.
Switched at Birth. It's a prequel to the Princess Switch. They actually were the same person all along. Yeah, no, it's getting out of control. But hey, we're gonna watch it. It's coming out November 19th. I think we should watch it and make a recap of it right away and let people know if it's worth their time or not. Before we get out of here, I wanted to play a quick game with you, Tasha Marie. It's called the Hallmark Christmas Movie Plot Generator. I'm going to read for you several different columns of things. You need to choose one from each column. Okay, are you ready to go?
Okay, yeah, ready.
I need quick decisions.
Got it.
Ready. So the first column, here are your choices: big city, career-oriented, recently single, world-weary, with the wrong guy.
Big city.
All right, she's big city. Lawyer, writer, baker, interior designer, or early 2000s actor you forgot about.
Interior designer.
Okay. Returns to... Okay, you don't get to choose that one. To inherit... Okay, here's your next list. To inherit something, to enter a folksy contest, to stop some corporate closure, to save the family business, to appease their sassy friend or widowed parent.
That's it?
Yeah.
Hold on, can you repeat them?
To inherit something, to enter a folksy contest, to stop some corporate closure, to save the family business, to appease their sassy friend or widowed parent.
Folksy contest.
To enter a folksy contest, okay? And then I'll choose this last one, okay? The last one is with a sensitive guy in plaid. Actually, I'll let you choose it. With a sensitive guy in plaid, with an old flame, with some guy and his dog, with a single dad and his precocious child, with Christmas to town and some guy.
Guy with dog.
With some guy and his dog. Okay, so here we go. Let's play this one here. Let's get the Christmas music going. I already forgot. Okay, hold on. I got to look at all of mine. Okay, you said interior designer, right? Mm-hmm. And then, okay. Big city interior designer returns to her small town at Christmas time to enter a folksy contest and magically falls in love with some guy and his dog. There you have it, folks. That's Tasha's Christmas movie. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll try one out here for myself. Recently single baker returns to her small town at Christmas time to appease their sassy friend and magically falls in love with a single dad and his precocious child. That sounds like the worst. Single dad.
I would watch any of these movies.
Child.
Any combination.
You had a good one today where we were kind of throwing around stupid ideas, and I don't want to say mine because I think my Christmas movie sells on title alone, and the Patreon members know it because I've been talking about it on Patreon. So if you do want to support my plight, and want to hear my Christmas movie, go to patreon.com/thesap. patreon.com/THESAP, and I've been workshopping my movie to you guys on there on solo episodes, and you can hear about it. But Tasha, you had one, I think you said it as a joke, but I kind of like it.
No, I dreamt it.
You dreamt it, okay.
And as I was waking up, you know how you sort of remember like the last
Hold on, I'm
going to
get you some new Christmas music here
You
for
sort of remember the last bits of your dream right before you wake up, or right as you wake up. If you like go over it in your head, you can hold on to a little bits and pieces. But my dream was
Hold on. Really sell us this dream, Tasha.
I'm not going to really sell it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tasha Courtney's Christmas movie dream.
But it wasn't a Christmas movie.
Really slow it down and sell it.
I can't remember all of it.
Go slow. Make it up.
No.
Is it a big city, a recently single, a world weary? Where does the person come from? I'll workshop it with you.
I'll say world weary.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Is it she?
Yeah.
She's world weary. What's her occupation?
I don't know.
Well, let's talk about it. What does she like to do?
She's kind of like
is she a travel blogger?
Artsy.
She's a travel blogger?
And maybe health conscious.
Okay.
Traditional.
Traveling yoga instructor.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And then is she going back to her hometown?
No.
Because there's no other option. She has to go back to her small town.
No, she's not going to her hometown. Maybe she's getting away to a small town she's never been to before.
Hold on. Okay, so she's world weary, is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's a world weary
artist / yoga teacher.
Traveling yoga instructor. Returns. Where'd she go?
She's going to a place she's never been before. Small town.
Goes on an adventure to a small town. Where? In Vermont, right? It's got to be in Vermont.
No. I'm going to say it's a summery. It's a warm place.
Okay. Well, okay. And then what?
And she meets a group of people who are in a community.
Okay.
And they take her under her wing. And she's on the fence because she's like, is this a cult or is this a cool community?
Okay.
And it's Cult Christmas.
It's Cult Christmas. I like it. Cult
Christmas with a cult.
So does it turn into a horror film?
No.
She just ends up loving the cult?
Maybe it's mildly uncomfortable at times.
What if this happens?
Do you remember Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene?
Yeah, sure. Jeez.
Well, how about this? It's a nice cult.
Okay, how about this? They're kind of granola, they're hippie. She's a yoga instructor, so she gets herself.
Community.
Yeah, they don't have a currency, right? They just kind of pay by bargaining and massages and group hugs or whatever. She doesn't have cell phone reception, so her family gets worried that she's in a cult. So they come down there to like rescue her. But in the process, they get like in a plane crash or something. And
what?
yeah, like so and it turns out the cult actually uses all of their resources to help save her family. And so then they all realize that it's a friendly cult. Cult Christmas, folks. I thought that was a good workshop there. I thought we were onto something. Not so much?
Sure. It has legs.
It has legs. It has culty legs. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to keep up with the Christmas, because it's early. It's November 15th, so we've got a long way to go, Christmas movie wise. But also, I wanted to shout out Jen Murphy. What was the name of the movie she recommended? The Canadian Christmas movie. Oh, Christmas.
Oh, the old one from 1985.
Movie,
Magic.
1985, Magic. It was called Magic? One Magic Christmas.
Yeah.
So Jen Murphy is our actually, she's I think my Canadian support human, I think is what we call it. And shout out to Oz, you're my Canadian support human too. We got multiple Canadians out there, but listener of the podcast and all things live streaming this and that. And she recommended a One Magic Christmas, and it turns out it's on Disney Plus. Came out my year of birth. An angel must show a mother the true meaning of Christmas. It's not just presents and materialistic things, but the people she cares about. And it stars Mary Steenburgen, who's married to Ted Danson. And she was also the damsel in distress in the second, maybe third, actually, Back to the Future movies. It was also, she's been in everything.
She was on that show that you liked.
She was on End of the World or whatever, Last Man on Earth, and Step Brothers. I mean, she's been in. She was in Back to the Future 3. She's been in it all. This movie has legs. She said
was sad and a little bit effed up.
But she said it was a Canadian Christmas movie, but it starred several Americans. Maybe, I guess it could have been Canadian produced. It definitely took place in Canada. They like played hockey every scene. And then it was like, yeah, it was very sad. This is the type of movie I think you have to be emotionally prepared to have a gut punch. But if you're like a diehard Christmas movie person, I would say this should be in your arsenal. Like if you've seen good Christmas movies, this should be.
But they also sort of like swept over like logic. Like they took some leaps.
Yeah, let me look at the Rotten Tomatoes. What's it called again?
One Magic
Christmas. Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, I'm sure it's got to be like below 60%. Hey, but she said it was good, and we watched it. I thought it was. I mean, yeah, I thought it was a 69%, a 47% tomato meter. Get your shit together. Tomato meter, audience score. Like, what are we doing? Just give me a rating. It was. I mean, yeah, it was a journey, that's for sure. But anyway, so we appreciate any Christmas recommendations, and let us know out there. What a strange religion that it's taken over Hollywood for a month or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like here's
people love Christmas
but
movies.
Here's
we love to feel good with stupid movies. We don't care about budget. We don't really care about plot or acting or anything. We just want to have like a fun Christmas.
Jewish people run Hollywood. That's a compliment. There's every, from lawyers to directors, Spielberg. I mean, it's all. Come on, it's Jewish. It's all. It's what it is. Why? But they know to profit on Christmas movies. They don't go out of their way to make a Hanukkah movie. They profit. It's Christmas movies. I don't know what it is. It's something about the fantastical nature of Santa Claus, and
I think that lots of people, even those who aren't religious, enjoy Christmas. I mean, Christmas has become a consumerist holiday, but also it's about a time of like feeling magical and spirit and positivity and togetherness. Are you going to be okay with that? And family, and it's less about baby Jesus in a manger in modern times.
Now, the last episode we did together, I think 2 weeks ago, I did a solo last week. You held it together like a glue stick holds together, artwork in the sun. I mean, it was coming unraveled. We had to try to record like 5 different times because you were so sad thinking that you wouldn't be with your parents. We need advice from people on what we should do. What can we do to make our Christmas so full of love that we don't at any point feel a void?
Anyone who's listening to this in real time, who's going to listen to it tomorrow, knows that the U.S. is having a massive coronavirus surge right now. And even though we had already decided that we weren't going to be going home for the holidays, now we're feeling a lot more justified in that decision, a lot more secure.
It's almost like a gift we're giving our family to say we're not going to contribute to putting you at any more risk than you might be, even though the family might not care. And not just our family, everyone, our communities at large. I think it's a very selfless thing to do, to decide we're not gonna see people for the holidays this year. But it's a bummer, and we'll try.
Bummer.
The first year I spent with your family for Christmas, your sister had the flu.
Oh yeah,
or mono or something.
No, it was the flu.
She stayed quarantined. Your family's great. My family, we would have coughed on each other. Your family has more medical acumen, and is that the right phrasing? And your sister quarantined herself upstairs and Skyped into Christmas.
Yeah.
So when you think about it,
she was locked in her bedroom.
I was like, "What's up? I'm here to visit this family. She doesn't want to see me. Do I smell? What's going on?" Your sister is the best sister-in-law I could ask for. She gives me, I use every gift she's ever given me. Not to say that you don't. You always know like what I like. I tell you what I want. She'll get me things I didn't know I needed. I got like a hammock in a pocket. I got a backpack in a pocket. If you can fit something into a pocket, I'm gonna be happy. What else has she gotten me that I love?
She's gotten you some good camping equipment, like that little light.
Yeah, she got me a little light. She got me. Oh man, yeah, so many little tchotchkes that I've loved. I can't. Some other things I can't think of off the top of my head. Oh, my laptop, a little pop-up thing. She got me that, right? Did she give me that?
Oh,
She got me that
maybe.
little. Yeah, she got me some. Hey, in my laptop tote case. We should do an episode where we do like good Christmas gift ideas you can get somebody. We should probably do that soon. But anyway, shout out to Chelsea. Glad you don't have the flu. And we've got the flu from across the country, so we'll just Skype in. We'll just get a really good internet connection and Skype into both of our families.
I totally think that it's like, yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be a little sad, but we're going to make new Christmas traditions. It's going to be our first Christmas in Los Angeles. It's going to be weird for sure, but you already promised me a tree. So we're going to get a tree and we're going to put it right there in the kitchen. And yeah, I'm excited about it. It'll be weird for sure, but we need to do like a Christmas Eve cheers on Zoom with the extended family. We can set up a little something for Thanksgiving. We'll need to cook a big meal. We'll make it. It can still be fun, even though it's not necessarily our first choice of how we'd like to spend the holidays.
I need to coach people in their cinematography of Zoom calls, including my family. They just call me, like the Zoom call always happens when there's 50 relatives over I don't want to see. And then they just throw them in the face. And then my stepdad will take the Zoom call and talk to it into his ear. And it's very stressful. So I want my family, maybe your family can do this, to like set up a Zoom station.
Absolutely.
Put the thing at a station so it's like well lit, the sound's good, and then that's where we'll go. So it's easy access. Not
you
just
know what? They did a good job in your Christmas Drop movie. He set up, he had like his little Christmas dinner and they had their Christmas dinner, and the computer was at the opposite end of the table. But yeah, I think what you need to do is get one of your more tech savvy family members, like a younger brother, to be in charge of managing the Zoom call for your family and set it up on the laptop, leave it open from 8 to 8:30 or whatever. We'll set up the time. It's not like a all night sort of Zoom call thing.
And make it more than just a saying hello. Like, let's open a gift together. Let's do something that's actually got some substance.
Or like cheers.
Yeah, it's almost like for my birthday party, we did the Zoom beer pong. You know, it was like a little bit cooler than just, hey, we're on Zoom. It was like, all right, we did an activity. We made something out of nothing. But yeah, well, if anyone has any ideas out there, write in, let me know, slide into our DMs. On Instagram, Tasha's at Tasha Courtney. I'm at DNealz, DNEALZ. The SAPS podcast is at the.sap. Tasha's got some new blogs up on the website. We are Tada Travels. We are tadatravels.com. Go support that. And what are we missing there? Sugar Munchkin?
Nothing. That's about it for now.
Should we end on a Christmas tune here? Or should
let's do it.
I didn't have one queued up. I should have been ready for it. But let's end on a Christmas tune. And again, folks, thank you guys for hanging in there with us this entire year. I know it's been tough. Oh, geez. I know it's been crazy out there. A lot of people aren't even driving to work. A lot of people aren't listening anymore. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We're still here. We're still going for it. We appreciate all your donations, the Venmos, the Patreons. You guys have been so rock solid in keeping us staying positive. And write us in. Let us know what you guys are doing for Christmas. Maybe we can, we'll Skype you guys too. Please say hi to us. Bye, everybody.